lives on the line daily in this city. You ask them to deal with the worst of the worst, yet you don't want to honor your obligations. I also represent a lot of the retirees that are also part of the Memphis Police Association that are heroes in this community, involved in the Shannon Street, involved in riots and other incidences that have occurred. We have officers out here that have been shot. We have widowers out here in this audience that have children that were left behind by their husbands that were killed in the line of duty. And this city wants to renege on the obligations that they have made to them. You know, it amazes me at the Chamber of Commerce coming down here. For years, we gave you our money. I'm a taxpayer in this city, and you took my money. Yet now, you declined it this year because you knew that there was going to be an all-out attack on city employees. But you made millions of dollars. That's why you don't have to take that subsidy this year, because you've made millions off of what we have given. We have officers right now that are stressed out. This city is a ticking time bomb, and I don't care what anybody say. If you want to put me back in the car, put me back in the car. 38127. It is appalling that the citizens and the employees that serve this city have to come down here and beg this council. Beg. By the way, Chamber of Commerce, we don't sell commodities, we don't sell widgets, we don't sell gadgets, we sell quality services. You've gotten out of the business of being a city that serves citizens. And let me tell you why. Everybody keeps saying increase taxes, increase taxes, increase taxes. Well, Chamber of Commerce, we don't have to increase taxes. We have to prioritize where we're spending the money. Now tell me something that's not true that I'm about to say. We said we don't have money. I think this administration has created a false environment of economic distress.
Yeah.
Because all of this about the pension fund, unfunded liability, you know that it don't even matter. But you want to use it. That was a propelling mechanism to be able to come at the OPEB and the healthcare fund. It was created. And you said we don't have money. However, I say we don't have the $57 million obligation to the schools anymore. You increase taxes from 309 to 340, which generates approximately $31 million. You cut our salaries 4.6. That was $23 million. You cut the police budget last year, $23 million. You closed inspection stations, that was another $12 million. You closed libraries, community centers, and decreased community projects in this city. 38127, they're gone. You know why? Because they just worked a deal. Because they didn't want them here. I bet you they get that $500,000. But the problem was they had to come down here and beg for their own money. But guess what? We spent $195 million for basketball, taxpayer dollars. We spent $60 million on a boat dock that you can't run a gas. $18 million on a parking garage that you can't get nobody to park in. You want to spend $28 million of taxpayer money on Raleigh Spring Mall that the builders or the owners don't even want you to put them all out there. The Chamber of Commerce, economic development, that's money. You want to spend, see, ain't nobody talking about the $233 million you want to designate for the Fairgrounds project. It ain't fell off the table. Oh, and by the way, when you talk about generating funds, that's coming from sales tax dollars that go to the state because you're trying to designate it as a TDZ zone, tax designated zone. So the money that would have come back into the city to be able to fund fire, community services, public services, that money's going away. The Chamber of Commerce represents the business community. Let's not forget about the pilots that they're getting of my money. You can say what you want to say. In that little box that I can't remember what that little committee was of the mayors this morning. But the box was Crump on the north, the river on the west. What they said was a 45% decrease in crime. Crump on the north, the river on the west, Parkway on the south, and 3rd Street on the east. Ain't nothing over there but old factories, old buildings. And they increased police patrol and that to drive the crime down still. Let me tell you what the rolling 90s are. Grape Street Crips are. Go below South Parkway. Now I say all of that to say this. You guys, for some reason, don't want to support the citizens, and you're putting businesses before the needs of this community. Most of these individuals out here have dedicated their lives. We have officers that are stressing out, that are probably going through post-traumatic stress disorder. That young man that was involved at the airport, he had asked for help. We had been talking to the administration about a PTSD program. And if you think it's bad now, just hold on. Because we got more officers leaving this city. They're running out of here in droves. And initially, that's what the administration wanted, because when they told this council and the citizens of this city that they weren't going to cut the police department or lay them off, they had already figured out they could do it through attrition if they keep attacking their benefits. And by the way, we don't get 63 days off a year. I would like for anybody to show me that. And if we don't hurry up and do something, there are shootings in this city every night. Homicides in this city on a weekly basis. I'm scared to come out of my house. And I got a gun everywhere I go. Also, for you guys that of the Chamber of Commerce, I still live in the hood. I heard one young man talk about where I grew up on Airways and I lived in. Well, I grew up in Scutterfield, North Memphis. I still live at Perkins and Quince. I hear shooting every day. It was 5 police cars outside my house when I came out yesterday. It was 6 out there last week. The house on every side of me have been broken into, and you want to tell me crime is down? I doubt it. We need to honor the obligations that we have made to the city employees. We need to stop building all of this stuff. Oh, and by the way, in the budget, the mayor has already asked for an increase in his capital improvement budget. That was a cap of $65 million. But he's asking for $83 million this year. No way! I bet he did it. Anything the business, oh, by the way, Mr. Teneri, who is now over Chamber of Commerce, who used to be with Pinnacle Airlines, when They were in Commerce World 1. We gave $20 million to renovate Commerce World 1. We gave Pinnacle $18 million. They took Pinnacle out of here and went up to Minnesota, renamed it, and then he got a $3 million bonus when he left Pinnacle. He is currently being paid $340,000 a year that we were providing a subsidy for. But you want to come and tell us who make $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a year that we make too much? You talk about generating a middle class, Commerce Square One, Chamber of Commerce. We are the middle class. You're bringing in companies, you're turning this into a distribution headquarters.
Right.
They're not paying any wages. Even Electrolux and Mitsubishi, they're not paying the wages they paid up north. You're trying to get rid of unions is what you're trying to do. We are the middle class. And I can't believe that this government establishment is allowing public entities to influence what is going on and the services that are being rendered. And you talk about quality services. You keep taking benefits away from employees. Last thing I'm going to say is,
well, I think you have 2 more minutes. I think we only gave you 12, right? You only needed 12.
oh, really? No, I'll take it.
But not 6 minutes.
But I do want to say this, really. We are the middle class. This city was built on the backbones of servants that provided quality services to this city. We used to get City Beautiful. We used to have our trash picked up. We had we increased the police department, but everybody wants to say we're losing people. But nobody has addressed the issue of the 150,000 undocumented Hispanics that are in this city. Let's not forget about them. We may have people leaving. We got police officers leaving every day, but you know why? Because you're steady taking away their stuff. We got kids that go to Texas Southern, Grambling, all over the country, Xavier, Notre Dame, Duke. They won't come back here. I can't get my kids to come back here. You know why? Chamber of Commerce? Because of the type of jobs that you're bringing and the clawbacks. And see, it's up to this council to monitor that kind of stuff. And if you hadn't heard, you saw 38127, and what the message that they were saying was somebody's going to be held accountable for this eventually. So you can continue to do what you want to do as a council and think nobody's watching. But I will tell you there's a movement in this city.
30 seconds.
Thank you. Please honor the obligations. This administration has given you information time and time again that was not correct. Why are you going to accept it so easily now? You have even said that they've given you information that was not correct. Please, we're standing here begging you to do the right thing.